On the 552nd day of the war in Ukraine, the fighting was concentrated in these areas. On Bakhmut front, Ukrainian forces made slight but important advances in the northern and southern part of the front. In the southern part of the front line, Ukrainian forces launched an offensive in the ANDRIIVKA-Pryyutne line. Today it was confirmed that the 3rd Assault Brigade of the Ukrainian army pushed towards the east, approaching the village of ANDRIIVKA from the northwest and southwest. This is also confirmed by the videos published yesterday by the Ukrainian brigade, where Ukrainian soldiers are seen conducting operations in the vicinity of ANDRIIVKA. The advance of the Ukrainian forces has been greater in the area south of ANDRIIVKA, where according to reports from the Ukrainian sources, Ukrainian troops reached the railway in this direction. This is a very good news for Ukrainians because, as I have mentioned on my previous videos, in this area the Russian forces are using several tunnels and dugout positions to take cover from the Ukrainian artillery strikes. Now that the Ukrainian forces managed to penetrate in this direction, it means that the Russian troops will be forced out of their positions to face the Ukrainian attacks. This will expose them to the Ukrainian artillery, which has already started to hit the entire line of fortifications built along the railway. Although it is not yet fully verified, a few hours ago Ukrainian sources published footage where Ukrainian soldiers are seen conducting clearing operations on the Russian positions near the railway. In the video, Ukrainian forces ambushed a group of Russian troops who were crossing the railway heading west. It seems that during the next few days there will be fierce fighting in this direction and the Ukrainian forces will likely try to capture ANDRIIVKA. Further south, in Kurdyumivka, drone units of the armed forces of Ukraine published images of their strikes against the Russian forces inside the village, causing heavy casualties among the Russian troops. Ukrainian forces also cleared some Russian fortifications in the northern part of Bakhmut front in the area between Orikovo-Vasylivka and Zalizyanske. Ukrainian sources stated that the Ukrainian troops managed to clear some fortified Russian positions near the E40 highway. In this area, the Russian forces offered a lot of resistance due to the advantage created by the presence of a dense forest near their positions north of the highway. But it seems that finally the Ukrainian forces managed to clear the largest part of the forest, opening the way for a possible rapid advance towards Zalizyanske. On Vremivka front, according to the latest reports, Ukrainian forces have begun to advance in the grey areas in the salient northeast of Pryyutne. According to Ukrainian sources, Russian troops were forced to withdraw to the south and are now repositioning along the forest lines between Pryyutne and Staromayorske, where reinforcements are expected to arrive. On the ground, Ukrainian sources confirmed that the Ukrainian army is conducting successful operations in the area south of Staromayorske. During the last few days, Ukrainian forces have had a clear superiority in firepower, but yesterday the Russian artillery responded by hitting the Ukrainian positions in Makarivka using cluster and incendiary munition. Further east, according to on-the-ground Russian sources, the Ukrainian army responded by shelling the Russian positions in Novodonetsk. Ukrainian sources reported that the Ukrainian army is already launching attacks against the village and made small advances northwest of Novodonetsk. In the Zaporizhzhia front, the situation did not change much during the last 24 hours. Ukrainian forces continue to consolidate their control in the areas west of Verbove, where they are entrenching in the positions near the main line of the Russian defense. In the central part of the front, battles continue in the areas between Robotyne and Novoprokopivka. As reported by Russian sources, Ukrainian forces are trying to flank Russian trench lines by attempting to open the way for an attack on Novoprokopivka from the northeast. According to Ukrainian forces, yesterday heavy fighting took place on the western flank with heavy casualties on both sides. But in the end, Russian forces were unable to advance in this direction and withdrew in order to regroup. Friends, if you like my daily updates, I kindly ask you to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as this will greatly help the channel to reach a wider audience. That's all for today's update. Thank you to my Patreon supporters and have a great day.